No matter what you believe in, no matter your race, no matter your nationality, no matter your orientation, no matter any physical, societal label that is used to divide us, one thing is common amongst everyone, and that is to get from A to B, you need faith. To get from who you are now to who you want to be, you need faith. No great man ever became great without faith. It is the common ingredient in any success story. Hey guys, I'm Leah and welcome to my podcast, roundplugsquarehole. This is the second episode I'm recording. I don't know in what sequence you're listening to this, but I was just outside looking at the moon, connecting with nature and looking up at the stars. A lot of the time when a lot is going on in my mind and in my space, or I just need to clear myself, align myself, ground myself, I look up at the sky. But the night sky in particular is my safe space. Something about looking up at the stars makes me feel a sense of home and peace and serenity that nothing else can give me. I don't know what it is. It's just the moon and the stars and the blue-black of the night sky feels like home to me. Recently, my mind has been going a million miles a minute, but what else is new? However, recently it just seems like there's been so much going on, and I've been getting so many signs and messages from like my guides to tell me I need to be still to get the message. And in my stillness tonight, I got the message of faith. Speak about faith. Speak about your journey in faith. I would say towards the end of 2018, after what was one of the rockiest testing years of my entire life, this is when not only the revelation of grace started for me or occurred in my life, this is when I started awakening or was awakened and was basically propelled into the 5D. But this is also when the journey in faith for me started. My entire existence and how I've been living my life day to day since that time has been a journey in faith. I wake up every single day, go about my day, and go about living my truth in faith. You can't do what I do and go after what I go after without faith. For example, I have a YouTube channel that right now sits at 168 subscribers. My latest video has less than 10 views, and the one before that has 20 something, and the one before that has 40 something. But I continue to put out videos every single week, and I started my channel in 2016. I'm a musician, and my second single is coming out on Thursday, the 16th of April. By the time you hear this, it would have been out already. However, the previous single on YouTube has less than 400 views. I've been made fun of, I've been made a joke, I've had a million whispers in the street because a lot of the time people don't believe in you or want to be part of your quote unquote fan base until you already have a fan base. And that's the irony of being a creative. I've had to end so many relationships in my life that were just imbalanced, where the give and take imbalance just didn't work. I've had to leave a path that seemed to make sense to everyone else and seemed like the right path to everyone else, but deep down I knew wasn't the path for me. And I felt like an island. They say no man is an island, but I felt like an island for so long. I went through a period of pain where I felt like I was crying myself to sleep every single night for months on end. These are the birth pains of awakening, but through awakening and through healing yourself, you have to face all your stuff that has accumulated and affected you up until that moment. That all took faith. Making this podcast and recording these episodes in hope that people will receive it properly and it will reach people and it will touch people, it takes faith. Me thinking like, I truly, truly believe I'm going to change the world. I truly, truly believe I'm going to save the world. I truly believe I'm going to be one of the greatest writers that ever lived. I believe that I'm going to make an impact. I believe that everything that I create in my art and my being and me as a person and how I translate myself and the art that I create is going to mean something. I believe it's going to touch lives. I believe that I'm going to be able to help people by speaking and dissecting and diving into my previous pain. This all takes faith. Where I am now and where I aspire to be is two different planes as is, but what I realized after so much time of strife and resistance and just I felt like I was fighting the world is that the only person who can live in your today and your tomorrow and at your finish line simultaneously is you. I spend so much time trying to make people see and believe in my reality when I should have just been creating it so they could see it and live in it too. You know what you have inside of you. You feel that fire and that drive and that passion in your soul. You have your dreams. You have this thing, like I have this thing that lives and burns and builds inside of me where I'm never going to be able to have a peaceful night's sleep until I'm fulfilling my life purpose, until I'm doing what I feel like I need to do. I want to make movies, I want to write scripts, I want to make series, I want to make music, I want to write books. I want to travel and document my experiences. I want to make YouTube videos because I love making YouTube videos. I want to interview people. I'm here making a podcast. I want to write academic papers. You know, there are so many things that I want to do that just seem so outlandish, but I have faith. And not only do I have faith, but I have a work ethic. And my faith holds so strong that when the world doesn't align, when you when you tweet a link of your YouTube video that gets 1 like or no likes, when you post a picture on Instagram that gets 80 likes, when your YouTube videos, the last however many YouTube videos I've posted since the beginning of the year have max 100 views, where 90% of them are me. It takes faith for someone to wake up every day and work. I work from the time that I open my eyes to the time that I close my eyes. I'm strategizing, I'm working, I'm feeding into my creation, I'm putting out content, I'm writing this music, I'm making a plan, I'm feeding into my dreams. Not only do I have faith, but I have obedience. Not only do I have obedience, but I have a work ethic to go with it. When you're putting effort into something that has no tangible results, I need to paint this picture for someone out there. When you're putting in work and effort into something that doesn't have tangible results, that means that I've been working for like over a year, but there's no dollar value to show for it. People ask you what you do, but what do you have to show for it? I have my faith, I have my belief, I have my vision, I have my obedience, I have my work ethic. I believe in myself more than you could ever doubt, more than you could ever doubt me. My belief and my faith has to be bigger than your doubts. And it is. My belief and my faith has to be so big that I have to manifest this. I've seen myself holding that award so many times that it has to land in my palm. We speak about the law of attraction, right? And living in the reality where I am more than living in the reality where I lack tells me that this manifestation is going to come into fruition. Then my faith will pay the result that I want it to. People will call you crazy. People will call you insane. Just believe in your truth. I remember in high school, I've never been so sure of myself in my life. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and the funny thing about entrepreneurship, why it drew me in, is because I felt like the possibilities were endless. I could create whatever reality I wanted. Deep down, every time that I would close my eyes and daydream, I was on stage somewhere. Every time I'd listen to music, why I loved listening to it so much is because I'd always picture myself performing it. That reality just didn't seem like a tangible future for me, and making art, because when it came down to choosing the two paths, art and music was just painted as something that was just a hobby and you can do that whenever. So I thought it wasn't good enough. But that's where my heart was. Entrepreneurship reignited that possibility for me because I could create whatever I wanted to create. It's the creation that drew me in. It's the people's stories. It's how they got from A to B. It's the idea that they overcame all obstacles and all odds. I understood the journey of a great man. I looked up to them, my hero to this day. From the time I was 17 and I heard his testimony, Dr. Strang Masiwa. It wasn't an easy road for him. If I go to my biblical heroes, King David, it wasn't an easy road for him. Queen Esther, it wasn't an easy road for her. Christ, Lord knows, it was not an easy road for him either. Daniel, it wasn't an easy road for him. So many people I look up to, so many people that I resonate with. Eminem, Mac Miller, Drake, Basquiat. There are so many people, and every single time I look and I pinpoint someone that I'm like, I resonate with you, I understand your story, this is very inspiring. There's always a period of trial. And I don't know why it never sunk in that because this is the path and the journey you wanted to take, you're about to enter a period of trial, enter university. I think the 2 years that I spent at UCT in Cape Town really cemented the fact that I was very depressed and I wasn't happy. I would go to school every day and get into that commerce department, and it seemed like everyone that I was speaking to, their end goal, their dreams, their aspirations, it just didn't resonate with me because I just had a vision beyond. I realized none of this made me happy. I chose my degree because I was like, I just want to understand it because I'm not trying to pursue a career. And I was surrounded by people who wanted to pursue careers. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just never really resonated with me. I couldn't wake up every day because I was like, what am I waking up for? I lost my why. And because I lost my why, I lost my faith in my journey and where I was. It didn't make sense to me. And the thing is, with the type of person that I am, it has to make sense to me. If it doesn't make sense, why put in the effort, you know? So after literally having to implode, for people to hear me say that I wanted to come home, I wasn't happy, I had to go through the process of finding myself. Finding myself amidst this construct that I had created. Who am I? How do you ask someone that question now when they've hit 20 and they're like, okay, who I've been projecting is not who I am. Where I am is not where I want to be. How do I get from A to B? Every time you say what you want to do or where you want to be, it seems to be incorrect. But had I gone back to my heroes and my greats, my personal greats, the people I looked up to, the legacies that I revered, one thing reigned supreme. The people around them never understood them because they were creating a new reality. And how were they able to get from A to B? To shake off the naysayers. It was faith. People thought David was crazy when he was out there going against a giant as a little scrawny boy. He knew what he was capable of. And had he listened to the people who saw what they thought he was and not who he knew he was, he wouldn't have become King David. Had Strive Masiwa folded in that 5 years before he was able to break through and start what he knew would be an amazing venture, while other people around the continent started what he had initially sowed the seeds for. He was watching other people do it while he had to wait for his manifestation to come to fruition. Had he folded then and given up, he would not be Strive Masiwa. We would not have econ it the way that it is. He wouldn't have the most fiber links in kilometers in Africa. The list goes on. If my heroes, if my greats believed in everyone else's narrative for them and not their narrative for themselves, if they didn't have faith, they wouldn't be my greats. They wouldn't be the people that we see now. We see where people are, but we forget about how they got there. It took a lot of hard work. It took a lot of going inside. It took a lot of blurring out the white noise. I struggled with that for the longest time. I wanted people to see and believe in what I see and believe in. It's like, no, you need to understand, this is what I see, this is what I believe, this is what I dream. But it's hard for people to materialize in their minds a reality that is yet to exist. You have to create that reality. And to be able to create your reality, you need faith that will come into existence. It's the pathway to greatness. It's the story of a legacy. It's something we all have within us. But it's something that takes a lot of courage to dig deep within ourselves and not only manifest, but have the courage to pursue every day. Why it's hard, and it seems like the minority, the 0.1 percentile, are the ones who get there, is because It's not a wake up 7 days, have faith, work hard, and you get there. It's not a week thing. It's not a month thing. And a lot of the time, it's not a year thing either. You do this, you wake up and you believe, and then you work on it, and then you go to bed, and you wake up and you believe, and you work on it, you go to bed. You have a breakdown, you want to quit, and you cry. But then you push through that, and then you work on it, and you believe, and you have faith, and you go to bed, and you wake up again. And it's an ongoing cycle of work, 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 positivity, optimism. Then reality comes crashing in, and we implode, and we cry, and then we dust ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and get back to work. And it's been years of this. And because a lot of the time when you're working towards something that doesn't exist yet, that isn't tangible yet, you're going to have people thinking what they think. People where they think that they are who they are, and they have clout, and they have this, and they have material possessions, and they have things that you don't have, will look down on you, and you'll feel the energy. People can say that they weren't saying things, or they weren't looking down on you, or there weren't any whispers in the streets, but you can sense these things, and how you treat people and how you respond to them says a lot. You'll face a lot of adversity. They will hate you before they love you, and trust me, it's a thing. Why the hate comes before the love is because they don't want you to get to the place where they have to love you. You have to push through all that. Believe in your King David while you're still the boy David. Believe in your Drake at his peak while you're the Drake at Degrassi. Believe in your Eminem while you're still your Marshall Mathers in the trailer park. Believe in your finish line before you get there. Only you can live at your finish line and in your present moment simultaneously. Only you can see it, feel it, believe it. The reason why we can project ourselves in the future and feel that feeling of passion and desire is because that's what pushes us to get there. It's one of two things. It'll drive you and it'll push you to reach that finish line, or it will haunt you and play at the back of your mind until you do. You're going to be in turmoil and torture either way, fam, so you may as well go after it. I really don't know how we got here. I sat down and I was like, I'm going to talk about faith, but then we took a million diversions, but honestly, that's Madiwa for you. And yes, I just referred to myself in the third person. Sometimes I have to because there's so many personalities going on over here. I think I'll leave it at that. Follow my social medias if you have them at Moody Chats on Instagram and Twitter, at MUDIE_CHATZ. I have a YouTube, Simply Madiwa. Type that in, you'll find it. I have a book on the way in 2020. It should be amazing. By the time you're hearing this, I have a single out called Reckoning. If you type in Midnight's Muse in Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, whatever music you have, and whatever music software you use, I will pop up. That is Reckoning by Midnight's Muse. As you see, we are multifaceted over here. No industry barriers exist. I also have a writing page and a photography and visual arts page on Instagram, but that is up to you to explore. With that being said, I would like to say thank you for listening to this podcast. Light, love, and good vibrations. And if you got to this point, thank you. And I appreciate you more than you know. Catch you in the next episode, guys. Thanks for tuning in.